Hello beautiful people, this is Krishna and I welcome you to another tutorial of CodeEra. So in today's tutorial, we will be learning how to create animated tab bar. And for this, we just need HTML and CSS technologies. I hope you will enjoy the video, and before moving further, if you are new to my channel, I want you to hit that subscribe button and also press that bell icon so you get notified whenever a new video is uploaded on my channel. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So before, let me just show you the preview of the animated tab bar. So let me just open up the Chrome browser, and here is our animated tab bar. So here you can see the entire blue background and these are the tabs. So let me just show you what happens when I hover on any of these tabs, and when I click on any of these tabs, they just rotate and come back to their original position. So this is what we are going to build in this tutorial. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So first, let me just open up the VS Code editor. So here in the VS Code editor, I have an index.html file and a style.css file, and remaining are the images in the PNG format that I am going to use for these tabs. So let me just minimize the Explorer window, and so first I will type the exclamation and hit enter. So this will provide me a boilerplate. So here in the title, I will replace this document text to animated tab bar. Okay, so now let's move on to our body part. And here first I will create a div element with the class container, and then inside this container I will include an anchor and just pass hash to the href attribute, and then include an image with the source document.png and also a slider where I am going to use a span element with the class slider. Okay, so Ctrl S to save. So let me just open it in the browser, and we are going to do it by just clicking on Alt plus L or open with live server. Okay, so here is our first image inside this anchor. So next I'm just going to be copying this lines of text from here. So next I'm just going to be copying these lines of code from here and then pasting it for around 4 times. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 and 4, and just changing the image names. That is, the second one is the mailing, the third one is the shopping cart and worldwide, and at the last, support. Okay, so let me just save it. So here are our images. So here we are done with our HTML. So now it's time to jump right into our styling part that we are going to do in our style.css file. So let me just open up the Explorer window, and from here style.css, and before all this I need to include the style.css file using the link tag and passing style.css to it. Next, so here on I will start with targeting each and every element of my HTML by using the asterisk and by giving margin 0 and padding 0, and also box sizing to border box, and next giving a default font size that is 62.5% to all the elements. And next, first I will target the body element and then give it a background color that is the light blue by using the hex code that is B2TEEC, which is going to give me a light blue background color. And next, now let me just reduce the size of these images, and I will do it by targeting the image element and setting a height of 3.5 rem. Okay, so they are well and good. So now these are the images, and next I will target my container. Okay, so here first I am going to center my container at the center of my page. So for that I will set the position of my container to absolute and then move 50% from the top and 50% from the left, and also transform the container so that it remains at the center whenever the page is resized. Okay, so now my elements are perfectly centered at my web page. So let me just give it a background color that is going to be like F2 EB E9. Okay, so let me just save it. Okay, so possibly you are able to see this. So the next thing I would like to do is to target the anchor elements and then set the position to relative and set the display to inline block, and then apply some padding, that is 1.5 rem from the top bottom and 2 rem from the left right. Okay, so now they are perfectly aligned. So next also give some margin to them, like 0.5 rem from the horizontal axis and 1 rem from the vertical axis. Okay, so now they are perfectly well and good at their place. So now I think I need to add some shadow at the bottom, just like the one we have added for this. So I will once again target the container and use the box shadow property and set 0 at the horizontal axis, 2 rem at the vertical axis and 2 rem of the blur radius and minus 2 rem to spread it, and going to use a dark blue color by using the hex code, that is the 293462. Control S to save. Okay, so we have got that perfect box shadow at the bottom of our box. So first we will target on these elements and see how the hover effect works, and then we will check out the animation effects, just like these, how these icons rotate and get back to their position, and also this slider. So let me get back to my page, and here we don't have any of the animation on these icons. So first I will target the anchor element, and whenever someone hovers on it, my image should transform from its original position and translate to -1 rem at its vertical axis, and so it is translating. But since we haven't added the transition effect, so we are not getting that smoothness whenever we are hovering on it. So let me just add it. So we need to target the image element and then add the transition all and give it around 0.3 seconds of duration. So let's check it out. Okay, so it's working. And then let's target that slider or the span element by using its class name and style it. So first I will set the display of the slider to block and then give it a height of 0.6 rem and then a width of 50% of my anchor element and a border radius of 2 pixels, and also set the background to dark blue color and Control S to save. Okay, so now possibly you are able to see the slider right in here. So now we need to position these sliders just below these images. So let's do it. So here I am going to set the position to absolute and then move -2 rem from the bottom and also set the margin to 0 and auto so that they remain at the center. So let me just save it. Okay, so here these sliders are out of this container just because I have set the bottom to -2. So let me just show you what happens if I set it to 0. So they will just be at the position where I want them to. So next, let me just set it back to -2 rem, Control S to save, and then set the opacity to 0 so we can get that animation effect or that cool fade in effect when we click on any of these icons. So here I also need to add the transition and set it to all 0.4 second of duration, and then we will get the fade in effect for that slider. And for that I will use the focus property on my anchor element, and whenever the user clicks on any of my anchor elements, the slider should move to its original position and also change its opacity from 0 to 1. And let me just save it and show it to you. Okay, so the slider is working very well. Okay, so it's working with each and every icon. So last but not the least, we are just remaining with the animation effect on these icons. So now we will concentrate on that animation and once again use the focus property on our anchor element and then target the image element and use the animation property and name it by animate and give it a duration of 1 second. And then we will use the keyframes and change this identifier to the name of my animation. Okay, so we will start with the 0%, and first we will set the transform property to rotate in a negative direction, and then we will target the 50%, and then we will check what need to be happened at the 50% of our animation. So here also we are going to use the transform property. I am going to translate -1 rem from the vertical axis, and at the last the 100%, that is what need to be happened at the end of the animation. So it need to be rotated into a negative 360 degree direction. So now let me just save it and then let's try it out. Okay, so the animation is working very well. Okay, so we are almost done with our work. The only thing that is remaining is we need to make it somewhat responsive. This doesn't look good at all whenever you view it on any tablet or any of the smartphone. So we just need to add 2 to 3 more lines of code, and here we don't actually need to use the media queries, and instead I'm just going to set the display of my container to flex and justify the content at the center, and also set the flex wrap property to wrap. So whenever we resize the window, the icons will be wrapped or the container will be wrapped. So now it looks far better than the before one. So this is the tablet mode. Whenever you view my page on the tablet, so the animation and also the transition of the slider works very well. And let's just check at the smartphone device. So it works here too. So with this we are done with our video and also the entire tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed the video And if you did, I want you to like and share this video, and also if you yet haven't subscribed to my channel, I want you to hit that subscribe button and also press that bell icon so you get notified whenever a new video is uploaded on my channel. So that's it for today guys. I will meet you in the next video. So till then, take care, bye bye, and also keep learning and keep coding. Tata.